why some women are unforgettable? She'll be in a room full of people, and for some reason, all eyes are on her. She's captivated everyone's attention. But it's not her looks, and it's not her charm. So what is it about her? She's unlocked this hidden energy inside of her that we all have, but we just don't know how to activate it yet. And once you know how to embody it, people will feel you before you even speak. Hi my loves, in this video we are going to talk about dark feminine energy. Dark feminine energy is very special. It will make you so magnetic, and it will not only better your personal life, your self-love, your confidence, but it will also help you in your love life. So let's get right into it. Most of us have seen a girl at least one point in our lives who just captivates everyone without even trying. She tends to move slowly and she has so much presence. She's just so confident in her own skin, and she's not afraid to take up space or time in the room. She loves herself enough to put herself first, and not because she's selfish, but because she knows her worth is sacred. Her confidence is quiet, it's not loud, but more importantly, she feels deeply. And a lot of people don't understand this about the dark feminine. They think this person has this sort of persona where she doesn't care and she acts cool cat. But the truth is, a woman in her dark feminine energy is so deep. Dark feminine energy is not about being cold or manipulative. It's in fact the opposite. It's about being so whole. She feels deeply and she's not afraid of her shadows. And when you're around her, you feel the depth of her emotions. It's almost intense to be around this kind of a woman. She's not surface level. She's not shallow. She's very real, and real is magnetic. Now here's the problem. Most women are taught things that hinder them from activating this energy that we all have inside of us. Most of us are taught from a very young age, be nice, be likable, be easy to love. But here's the thing. If you are constantly doing things for other people's approval, to be liked, you are putting on a show, you are putting on a performance, and you are not being authentic you. You're performing and people can feel it. It's people pleasing. And not only does it drain your energy, but it makes you weaker. Then we're also taught to rely on our looks. But beauty only makes a momentary statement until it just fades into the background. And then there's game playing, which a lot of women rely on in early dating, but manipulation tactics only last for so long until they backfire and usually end with a bitter ending. This is about something much deeper. The magnetic woman does not perform. She exists in her real truth. She's genuine, she's unpredictable, and she's uncontrollable. And ironically, that honesty is what makes her so admirable and irresistible to everyone. A lot of you women that watch this channel message me and ask me a very similar question in different wording. And it comes down to, why is he obsessed with me in the beginning and not anymore now that he has me? Here's the reality, and this might be controversial, but it's the truth. Men do have this innate nature where they want to conquer and chase. This is the most stimulating and desirable thing for them to do. And when you are in your dark feminine energy, you will always feel like a chase. So like I said before, not only with dark feminine energy will your self-love and confidence grow, but your love life will improve. We live in a world right now where everyone is just on their phone, scrolling, and numbing themselves. If someone's upset, they go on Instagram and they find ways to distract themselves. And because of this, they lack emotional depth. A lot of us do now. We've completely desensitized ourselves to our own feelings. I want you to think about this. How many times in your life have you been in a situation where you felt a little bit embarrassed about something that you said or did? And then you kind of found a way to brush it off immediately to look unbothered and cool in front of others. We've all done that. But a woman in her dark feminine energy does not put this mask on. She's so secure in herself that in that very moment, she chooses to express her emotions, even if they're a little humbling. That honesty, the need to not hide behind a mask, that is so magnetic and charming. Because here's the truth. I have studied magnetism for a very long time, and the most magnetic quality I've read about that always comes back to is genuineness. Look at reality stars who've blown up. Think of Molly May. This one came first to my mind. This girl has blown up so much from that show Love Island. What it is about her that made her so famous is how real and genuine she is. Millions of people fell in love with her, and it's not because she's polished or perfect, but it's because she is so real and confident enough to say the first things that are on her mind. She doesn't put on an act for anyone. She is herself, and people find that not only super charming, but they relate to people like that. And then that builds a connection, that builds an attraction and magnetism towards them. Weak people hide, okay? They stay surface level. They protect themselves from never truly revealing their feelings. But the woman in her dark feminine has the courage to wear her heart on her sleeve. Not in an explosive way. She's not breaking down or lashing out and shouting, but with elegance, honesty, and grace. That becomes a woman who's so unforgettable to everyone. So, how do we build this energy? Let's talk about 3 major keys here. The first key is to build self-respect. No matter how difficult the external world is or a situation that she's in, she's always able to keep her peace and her serenity within. She keeps her center, and she's always going to be grounded within herself. A lot of people, especially men, expect a woman to be overly reactive and emotional in certain situations. You will actually be tested in a relationship with a man, and they do this subconsciously to see if they have a hold on you, see where they can push boundaries, and learn about you. If you do the least expected thing and keep your self-respect and dignity, you will win. You will be valued, you will be seen as unpredictable, and best of all, you will also learn to value yourself more too if you know how to hold your ground. If you practice this, you will naturally build your own self-respect. Let me give you an idea of how this can look like in your dating life. Let's say you're about to go on a date with someone that you really like and you're really looking forward to this date, but they happen to just cancel on you last minute. A woman who comes from a place of lack or need and is not yet grounded in herself or respects herself is going to respond in one of 2 ways. She's gonna show him how devastated she is and go off with drama, giving him all of these reactions, giving him more power. Or just as bad, she'll brush it off and say something along the lines of, "Oh, okay, no problem at all. I totally understand. Let me know when you are available. I hope you have a good night. Call me." Something along those lines. You might be wondering what's wrong with that message. Well, you're showing him that you don't value your own time and it's not a big deal. You're saying, "Oh, it's okay. You can treat me like this again. I won't care. I'm flexible and I will allow you to do this again." Either one of those 2 responses diminishes her value. A woman in her dark feminine energy is now also human and also has feelings and emotions, but she holds herself with dignity. You can respond from a place of being genuine and authentic, but still hold that self-respect, saying something along the lines of, "Oh shoot, that's too bad. I was looking forward to it." Still being authentic. "But I understand these things happen." And then the key here is she doesn't ask him, "You're so loud." The key here is she's not asking him when he's available and if they can reschedule. She's leaving the ball. She's putting the ball in his court now. When he responds, and he will, saying, "Well, I want to see you again. Let me know when I can," she'll say something like, "I'm actually very busy in the next coming week, but I will work something out with you in a few days and see what works." And this is her way of saying, "Listen, my time is valuable, but I will give you another shot in the next week when I decide." She's saying, basically, now you have to wait to see me. This is teaching a man how to treat you in a very respectable way. And it will send the male ego into overdrive of, oh my God, did I just ruin my chance? She doesn't want to make time for me now. But more importantly, this boundary you just created triggers his respect for you. And it just grew. Now his ambition to work for her again is activated, and his hunter instinct is full force. And now your self-respect for yourself grows as well because you handle that situation very, very well. That was just one example. She stays consistent with her self-respect in every regard. So this type of woman does not respond to late night texts. She doesn't respond to a last minute invite. You know, she'll still keep her original plans, whether that was spending time with family or friends or going to the gym. She would rather keep her own life and her own plans than respond to a last minute impromptu invite. And that shows him that she still has her own life. And that is how a man realizes she's way too valuable to blow her off next time. He realizes he needs to step it up with her and games will not work with her, and he will learn to respect her by how she carries herself. And he's fascinated. This is the power of dark feminine energy. You stay grounded and true to yourself, and you will become so magnetic. And what's meant for you will chase you. So by building self-respect, you will naturally build self-love. And that's the next key, is building unapologetic self-love for yourself. Most women walk around asking, am I enough for him? Am I good enough for him? But the magnetic woman flips this question. Are they enough for me? Are they aligned with me? Are they going to contribute to my life something wonderful? Will this type of relationship help me grow or benefit me spiritually? That sudden shift in mentality will change everything for you. Suddenly you're not asking to sit at someone else's table, you become the table. The third key is building your inner castle. This is a process that relies on nobody but yourself. And it begins with your spirituality. It is your purpose. What is your soul's purpose in this life? You need to ask yourself, if I didn't have my love life or whatever, what would I put my energy towards? Is it your career? Would you go full throttle and try to go for a different position? Would you be turning your hobby into something great? What is it that gives you so much meaning? What are you passionate about deep inside? Really doesn't matter what it is, as long as you do have a deep passion for it and you start digging into it. Because when you have a purpose, when you have a passion, that's something that nobody can take away from you. It's always going to be yours. A woman who is passionate about something, she has a mission. She has this kind of unstoppable energy, and it is so admirable and attractive and inspiring. Another thing is that you maintain some sort of independence. When you are in your soft or your light feminine energy, you depend on your man for a lot of things, but we need balance. So you have to find one of three things to be independent about. That means you need to maintain either your emotional, financial, or your social independence, but not all three. And the reason for that is you cannot be super hyper independent, because then you're not in your feminine energy at all. Your light feminine and dark feminine needs to balance. So with your light feminine energy, you will depend on your man. You will ask him for help. You'll ask him for advice. You'll ask him for this, that, whatever it is. But you can't depend on him for all three. It's also in a man's nature to feel needed. If he does not feel needed, that's another problem in of itself. So maintaining your independence in one of the three categories, emotional, spiritual, financial, social, any of those four, is going to empower you. I personally would aim to learn to find happiness in your own company. I think this one will be a very good key. They say there's a difference between feeling lonely and being alone. If you can find peace when you are by yourself and love the connection you have to yourself, then you're already doing right. Let me ask you this. Have you ever been to a restaurant alone, or traveled alone, or went to the movies alone, or done anything similar? If you find yourself really awkward and uncomfortable in that kind of situation, then you're not yet comfortable in your own skin, nor are you comfortable with yourself. And you have to build that. That is so key for your dark feminine energy, because people will always come and go in life. That's just how life works. But you will always have yourself. So get to a point where you're so comfortable being by yourself and enjoying it that it becomes secondhand nature. This is the social independence. This is the kind of independence that does not say, I don't need a man. It doesn't have that fake attitude, but it has the attitude of, I will not crumble if you leave. I'm okay. I'm happy within me. Because if your happiness comes within yourself, nobody can take that away. And that's intimidating. That is what dark feminine energy is all about. Your happiness does have to come from within in order to radiate magnetism. So work on this. Build this self-love for yourself. Build this confidence for yourself, and get used to being okay, being alone, enjoying your own company. It's going to take you to the next level if you do. To have that kind of emotional strength, men can feel it. In fact, this energy can almost feel a little bit dangerous to them, because nothing is more intimidating than a woman whose happiness does not depend on a man. So how do you embody this? You stop chasing approval. You stop apologizing. Stop apologizing for existing. Stop dimming the parts of yourself that make you real. Remember that the people that are right for you, that are meant to be in your life, they will love you for you. So you don't need to mask anything. By not being true to yourself, you are doing yourself a disservice by attracting people that are not meant for you. You're attracting the wrong man, the wrong career, and we all know in the end that's not going to leave you happy. Remember that the most magnetic woman is not the one in the room that's trying so hard to be loved, but the one who is free enough to be her full, unapologetic self. And that is where her power begins, and it's already inside of you. Okay guys, if this video spoke to you, please give it a like and comment. Comment down below what you guys want me to talk about next. I love you so much. Please subscribe so that I could see you again soon if you haven't already.